Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered why the temperature displayed on a weather app never quite matches how hot or cold you actually feel outside? Today we are going to explore the complete journey of thermal measurement, moving from the vast scale of planetary climate all the way down to the invisible micro drafts around your own body. Air temperature dynamics on a large scale are governed by four key geographic variables. Latitude determines the angle at which solar rays strike the Earth, directly influencing insolation intensity. Altitude affects temperature through the adiabatic cooling rate, creating a vertical temperature gradient as you move higher up a mountain. Wind direction plays a role too, since polar air masses are cool while tropical air masses are warm, and horizontal heat transport moves this energy across regions. Proximity to the sea also matters greatly, since water and land have very different heat capacities, creating sea breezes and land breezes and giving coastal areas a moderated temperature range due to the thermal buffer capacity of the ocean. It is worth noting that the temperature of the ground surface is always higher than that of the air immediately above it, and this drives both daily and seasonal variations in ambient temperature. When it comes to accurately measuring air temperature, there is a major challenge known as the exposure bottleneck. Thermometers require completely unimpeded air access to register real time environmental shifts. However, mounting instruments directly in the open introduces massive radiation errors, since direct sunlight artificially heats the sensor beyond the true air temperature. The fundamental challenge, therefore, is purifying the measurement by separating ambient air from these direct radiant forces. This challenge is solved using what is called the Stevenson Screen. This is the approved standard enclosure utilized universally in all meteorological observatories in India for official temperature tracking. It features a double louvered structure where the louvered walls allow continuous airflow while neutralizing all radiant interference. The mounting standard requires the enclosure to be rigidly installed on a secure stand, positioning the internal sensor bulbs at an exact height of 1.20 to 1.80 meters above ground level. The fluids used inside thermometers also dictate their measurement capabilities. Mercury is used for high range tracking since it provides a highly regular rate of physical expansion across standard environments, and it boils at an extremely high temperature, making it safe for intense heat observation. Its bright metallic silver color is also highly visible against standard STEM markings, making it the universal sensor liquid for dry bulb, wet bulb, and maximum thermometers. Alcohol or spirit is used for extreme cold tracking since it possesses an exceptionally low freezing point and is guaranteed not to solidify even at the absolute lowest known atmospheric temperatures, making it highly suitable for high latitude minimum thermometers and specialized cooling rate sensors known as kata thermometers. Dry and wet bulb sensors work together to diagnose relative humidity. The dry bulb thermometer is an unmodified mercury thermometer measuring actual ambient air temperature. The wet bulb thermometer is an identical instrument, but evaporation from the wet muslin covering it lowers the mercury reading below the ambient level. This gives us the relative humidity rule. The drier the air, the lower the wet bulb reading, and if both thermometers register the exact same temperature, the air is 100% saturated with moisture, an extremely rare event. Beyond standard temperature readings, mechanical constrictions and indices allow us to log peak and trough values over time. The maximum thermometer uses mercury and features a very fine constriction near the neck of the bulb. Mercury expands past this constriction upon heating, but the thread breaks upon cooling, leaving the distal end holding the highest recorded value. Resetting this instrument requires brisk swinging to force the mercury back into the bulb. The minimum thermometer uses spirit and houses an immersed dumbbell shaped index. Falling temperatures cause liquid surface tension to drag the index toward the bulb, while rising temperatures flow past it, stranding the index at the lowest point. This instrument must be rigidly mounted horizontally to keep the index positioned correctly. Interestingly, observatory policy strictly excludes combined instruments. The 6S thermometer is designed as a single combined instrument to provide both maximum and minimum integrated readings simultaneously. However, despite its simplicity, this combination instrument is strictly prohibited from official use in any Indian meteorological observatories. Separated, dedicated mercury instruments for maximum readings and spirit instruments for minimum readings remain the exclusive standard. While standard air temperature measurement is important, the radiant reality often outpaces pure air temperature when it comes to human experience. Standard meteorological screening purposefully strips away radiant heat. However, true environmental impact requires measuring what is called the mean radiant temperature of the physical surroundings. To capture this, we must introduce specialized biological proxies that absorb rather than deflect incident radiant energy. This is where the globe thermometer comes in, designed specifically to capture mean radiant load. Its structure consists of a 6-inch or 15 centimeter hollow copper sphere coated entirely in matte black paint. The mechanism works by absorbing radiant heat from surrounding objects, causing the central mercury bulb to register a higher temperature than the ambient air. Its diagnostic value lies in the fact that the difference between the globe reading and a standard dry bulb reading equals the precise measure of ambient radiant heat. However, its limitation is that, although highly accurate, it requires 15 to 20 minutes to reach thermal equilibrium with the environment. To accelerate this slow response time, the Helion and Cropford modification was developed. This design is created explicitly to bypass the slow thermal response curve of standard globes. Structurally, it is constructed from much lighter gauge metal, half the thickness of the standard copper, and features an internal air stirring mechanism driven by a miniature 6-volt motor and fan. The performance gain is significant, cutting equilibrium time entirely in half, achieving accurate mean radiant temperature readings in just 8 to 10 minutes. Taking this concept further, the wet globe was developed to simulate the human perspiration engine. This instrument is designed explicitly to calculate the exact cooling capacity of a work environment. Through a clever biological analogy, the wet black cloth wrapping the sphere allows it to exchange heat with the environment simultaneously through 4 distinct pathways: convection, evaporation, conduction, and radiation. The result is that by integrating all 4 of these processes into a single equilibrium temperature, the instrument perfectly models the physiological heat dissipation limits of a perspiring human body. To achieve pure ambient readings without any radiant interference at all, polished silvered bulbs are used. The radiation error occurs because ordinary glass and dark colored thermometer bulbs naturally absorb incident radiant heat, resulting in artificially spiked readings. The solution is reflective isolation, a bright, polished metallic silver coating applied directly over the bulb, which acts as a thermal shield. This allows for pure air tracking. By reflecting as much incident radiant heat as physically possible, the coating completely neutralizes radiant distortion, yielding an unaffected reading of the true ambient air temperature. This brings us to entering the microenvironment through the kata thermometer. Derived from the Greek word kata, meaning down, this specialized alcohol instrument measures the exact cooling power of the air. Its structural precision includes a large surface area bulb, 4 centimeters long, and an upper alcohol reservoir. For radiant shielding, kata thermometers utilize silvered bulbs to proactively reduce errors caused by local radiation. They are always used in dual deployment in pairs, one dry kata that is simply wiped dry and one wet kata that is wrapped in wet muslin. The kata operational protocol follows four clear steps. First, preparation, immersing the instrument in hot water to warm the spirit above 130 degrees Fahrenheit into the top reservoir. Second, suspension, wiping the dry kata and wrapping the wet kata, then suspending both at the specific point of observation. Third, timing, recording the seconds required for the spirit to fall from 100 degrees Fahrenheit to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, repeating this 4 times, discarding the first run and averaging the final 3 readings. Fourth, calculation, the rate of cooling, measured in millicalories per square centimeter per second, is calculated by dividing the manufacturer's kata factor by the average fall time. From measuring thermal comfort, this instrument has evolved into modern micro anemometry. Originally, kata readings were devised as the standard measure for the cooling power of air, where a dry kata reading of 6 or above and a wet kata reading of 20 or above denote baseline thermal comfort. Today, the instrument is primarily utilized as a highly sensitive anemometer, capable of recording subtle low velocity air currents down to a threshold of just 10 feet per minute, revealing invisible drafts that standard instruments often miss. Since standard kata thermometers fail in hot tropical regions where ambient temperatures exceed the 100 degree Fahrenheit top marking, three color coded ranges were developed to span all global climates. The standard kata, marked in red, covers a cooling range of 100 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit and is used in temperate zones for standard cooling runs. The high temperature kata, marked in dark blue, covers a range of 130 to 125 degrees Fahrenheit, suited for warmer tropical indoor and industrial monitoring. And the extra high temperature kata, marked in magenta, covers a range of 150 to 145 degrees Fahrenheit, designed for extreme tropical ambient settings exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Bringing everything together, we arrive at the complete thermal profile, which requires instrumentation across four distinct scales. The macroclimate at a planetary scale is governed by latitude, altitude, wind, and sea, creating the baseline thermal reality. Standard air within the screened layer is captured through dry and wet bulbs along with maximum and minimum sensors. Inside the 1.2 to 1.8 meter Stevenson Screen bottleneck, radiant load within the occupational layer is measured by globe and wet globe thermometers, simulating the four-pathway biological heat exchange experienced by human workers. And microwind within the invisible layer is diagnosed by color-coded kata thermometers, mapping exact cooling rates and micro drafts down to 10 feet per minute. Ultimately, true atmospheric understanding requires simultaneous data extraction across all four resolutions of thermal measurement. Hope you have understood the complete science of thermal measurement, from macroclimate to microenvironment. Thank you.